Good morning. Myself Manoj, working as assistant professor in AC department, Chevrolet Engineering College, Chevrolet, and today's topic is biasing of PNP transistor. As we know, a transistor is a three-terminal semiconductor device which is capable of amplifying the input signal. So, we have to properly bias the transistor in order to make it work in active region so that it will amplify the input signal, right? So the three terminal of transistors are emitter, base, and collector. Emitter is highly doped, base is lightly doped, and collector region is moderately doped. And the width of emitter is high and the width of base is very less. The width of collector is much more greater than the width of emitter. So when a n-type semiconductor substrate is sandwiched between two p-type semiconductor substrates, an NPN transistor is a PNP transistor is formed. Okay, when an n-type semiconductor substrate is sandwiched between two p-type semiconductor substrates, then PNP transistor is formed. So this is a BJT. BJT means bipolar junction transistors, right? Why the name BJT has come? Because in this transistor, both polarities, BJT, bipolar junction transistor. Bipolar means both majority and minority charge carriers takes part in conduction process. So total current is a combination of sum of the currents due to majority charge carriers and minority charge carriers. And in this transistor we have two junctions. One junction is between emitter and base. That's why it's called emitter base junction. It's also called input junction and it is denoted by JE, right? And there is another junction which is between base and collector, right? This junction I call it output junction or base collector junction, or simply it is denoted by JC. So transistor is so we can say that a PNP transistor is a combination of two diodes, okay, connected back to back. So here see emitter and base junction, one PN diode here, PN, and another thing PN, which is from base and collector. So theoretically I can say this transistor is a combination of two diodes connected back to back. Practically it is not possible. Why? Because if I connect two diodes back to back or front to front, then it will not work as a transistor. Why? Because in transistor I have some modifications. Those are the emitter must be highly doped, base must be lightly doped, and collector is moderately doped. And another thing, the width of emitter is high and the width of base is very less, and the width of collector region must be greater than emitter region as shown in this schematic diagram, right? You can see here the width of emitter region is high, the width of base is very less, and the width of collector region is much more greater than the width of emitter region. Okay, and second thing is doping concentrations. As I said now, emitter is highly doped, base is lightly doped, collector is moderately doped. These two conditions are not satisfied if I connect two diodes back to back. So even if I connect two diodes back to back, it doesn't act as a transistor. Why? Because of above said reasons. So theoretically, for the purpose of understanding, I can say a transistor as a combination of two diodes connected back to back to form PNP transistor. And if I connect these two diodes front to front, then it will become NPN transistor. It can be modeled as a NPN transistor. Okay, and the junction between emitter and base, I said now, is called input junction, right, or junction JE, and the junction between base and collector is called output junction or simply junction JC. Okay, so I have to bias this transistor. I have to properly bias this transistor in order to make it work in active mode. Okay, so what is meant by biasing? Biasing is a controlling the operation of circuit by providing proper supply. The function of both PN junctions or a transistor is controlled by providing proper bias to circuit through some DC supply. Okay, you can see I have given here some proper supplies. Okay, VEE and VCC here. Okay, VEE is the voltage denoted in double subscript notation, and this is the voltage given to emitter. Okay, of course the base is common here, which is grounded, so it is the voltage applied between emitter and base. And VCC is the voltage supply I am giving it to output junction JC. Okay, of course the voltage given to collector, that's why it's called VCC, right? This VCC is the voltage applied between collector and base, which is common here. Base is common here. Okay, so I have to give a proper supply, right? So giving a proper supply is called biasing, right? Here there are number of types of biasings are using in these applications, right? So active mode of operation, saturation mode of operation, cutoff mode of operation, and reverse active mode of operation. Reverse active mode of operation is not used in any applications. So saturation mode of operation means in this mode of operation I will connect both the junctions, input junction JE and output junction JC in forward bias. Okay, so that junction JE is forward biased and junction JC is also forward biased. So if I make these two junctions forward bias, then this mode of operation is called saturation mode of operation. Okay, coming to cutoff mode of operation. Cutoff mode of operation means both the junctions JE and JC, means input junction and output junction, both the junctions are reverse biased here. Okay, both the junctions are reverse biased here. So in this mode of operation, the transistor acts as off switch. In reverse bias, no current practically will flow through the transistor. So I can say the transistor is in off condition now, right? And in saturation mode, just I have told you that both the junctions JC and JE, input junction and output junction, input junction JE and output junction JC are forward biased. In this condition, large amount of currents will flow in the transistor. That's why it simply acts as short circuit, or simply I can say the transistor is in on state. Okay, in order to make transistor to work in linear mode, that is, in order to make transistor work as an amplifier, the input junction JE must be forward biased and output junction JC is reverse biased, irrespective whether the transistor is NPN or PNP. Okay, this mode of operation is called active mode of operation. Okay, in active mode of operation, junction JE input junction and junction JC output junction are connected such a way that the input junction is forward biased and output junction is reverse biased. Forward biased and reverse biased. So what do you mean by a forward biasing? What do you mean by a forward biasing? If n-type semiconductor material is connected to negative terminal of power supply and positive terminal of power supply is connected to p-type semiconductor material, then this biasing is called forward bias. Okay, Nandi? Means the positive terminal of battery is connected, battery or power source is connected to p-type, and negative terminal of battery or power source is connected to n-type semiconductor substrate. Then this type of biasing is called forward bias. Okay. If the n-type semiconductor substrate is connected to positive terminal of battery or voltage source, and p-type semiconductor material is connected to negative terminal of battery or voltage source, then it is called reverse bias. Okay, means if positive terminal of battery is connected to n-type semiconductor material and negative terminal of battery or power source connected to p-type semiconductor material, this is called reverse biasing. Reverse biasing. Okay, always the emitter base junction is forward biased and collector base junction is reverse biased. Here the emitter base junction means input junction is forward biased by its voltage source VEE, and output junction JC is reverse biased by this voltage source VCC. Okay, irrespective whether transistor is PNP or NPN, I have to make input junction forward bias and output junction reverse bias, irrespective whether transistor is NPN or PNP. Okay, then if I make input junction forward bias, what will happen? The resistance at that junction will become small, right? And if I make a junction reverse bias, then resistance at that junction will become high. Okay, so a small forward bias is sufficient to make emitter junction, whereas high reverse bias has to be applied at collector junction, right? Such that the input resistance is small and output resistance is large. That's why the name transistor. Transistor means transfer resistance, means it transfers resistance from where to where? It transfers resistance from input side to output side. Okay, and depending upon the flow of charge carriers in the transistor, the current directions must be mentioned. Okay, so let us move on to operation of PNP transistor. As I said, now emitter base junction must be forward biased and collector base junction must be reverse biased, irrespective of whether transistor is NPN or PNP. Right? So what will happen? How the charge carriers move in the transistor? Okay. So as we know, in p-type semiconductor, the majority charge carriers are holes and minority charge carriers are electrons. Majority charge carriers are holes and minority charge carriers are electrons, right? And in n-type semiconductor substrate, electrons are majority charge carriers and holes are minority charge carriers. Okay, so first of all, let us talk about this PN junction, input junction. Okay, PN junction JE, right? So in p-type semiconductor substrate, holes are majority charge carriers and electrons minority charge carriers. These holes gets repelled due to this positive terminal of battery. Okay, because the positive terminal of battery is given to p-type semiconductor substrate. That's why as like charges repel each other, as holes are positive charge carriers and electrons are negative charge carriers. So holes are positive charge carriers and these holes gets repelled due to positive terminal of battery and move towards base region. So holes from emitter move towards base region. So this is the direction of flow of holes. So what will be the direction of current then? direction of current is in the same direction as flow of holes. If holes move from right to left, then direction of current is also from right to left. If the holes move from left to right, then the direction of current is also from left to right. So holes ఎలా మూవ్ అయితే current direction అటువైపే ఉంటుంది. And now in this p-type region, electrons are minority charge carriers. Electrons are minority charge carriers. So what will happen? These electrons are negative charge particles. So electrons gets attracted towards this positive terminal of battery or voltage source. When electron move towards voltage source, towards battery like this, what will be direction of current? Always direction of current is opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. So if electron move like this, so what will happen? Direction of current is in opposite direction. Okay, now so direction of current is towards emitter, into the emitter. Direction of current is into the emitter. So in this region, this is the current due to holes, and this arrow mark shows the direction of current. So the direction of current is from emitter to base. Okay, that's why PNP transistor, the current direction is from emitter to base. That's why the arrow mark is from emitter to base. This is a transistor, this is emitter, and this is base, and this is collector. So that's why the direction of current is from emitter to base. Okay, so this is the current due to majority and minority charge carriers. Okay, this is the total current. That's why total emitter current IE is a summation of current due to majority charge carriers, holes, and current due to minority charge carriers, electrons. This both majority and minority charge carriers constitute emitter current. Okay, if we add these two currents, then I will get emitter current, and the current in emitter region is from emitter to base. Okay, that's why I am arranging this. That's why I have shown emitter current like this, IE towards emitter. Okay, emitter and base. Okay, and what about base region? Then so in base, electrons majority charge carriers and holes are minority charge carriers. Electrons are majority charge carriers and holes are minority charge carriers. So what will happen? This electrons which are minority charge carriers here gets repelled due to this negative terminal of battery. That's why electrons move from base to emitter. First of all, let us consider this junction JE. Okay, excuse me. So electrons are here into charge carriers, and they get repelled due to negative terminal of battery. That's why electrons move towards this emitter region. So what will be the direction of current? Opposite to flow of electrons. Okay, so opposite to flow of electrons. So what will happen? Electrons are moving like this. So direction of current is opposite to flow of electrons. This is the direction of current. Okay, and let us suppose electrons are moving like this. Electrons are moving like this. So what will the direction of current? Opposite. This is direction. I think I have shown IB wrong here, and IC also wrong. Okay, I have shown it's correct. So this is IB, this is current IB. Okay, don't get confused with this direction and this direction. Okay, this is charge carrier direction, this is direction of current, right? So When electrons move from base to emitter, then current is in opposite direction. This is the direction of current. And also the holes which are magnetic charge carriers in base region will get attracted towards this negative terminal of battery. That's why, what is the direction of current then? This is the direction of current. Okay, so this is the current due to majority charge carrier, and this is the current due to minority charge carriers. Okay, so both currents constitute electric current IB. So IB is also a summation of majority and minority charge carriers. Okay, that's why direction of current is outside the base. Okay, towards outside the base. So this is the direction of current here. Okay, and now let us move on to output junction. So let us move on to output junction. Junction JC. Here again it's p-type semiconductor substrate. So holes are majority charge carriers, electrons are minority charge carriers. These holes which are majority charge carriers will get attracted towards this negative terminal of battery. So what will happen? Direction of current is towards direction of holes. So like this, right? And what about electrons here? Electrons gets repelled due to positive terminal of battery, and electron move from collector to base like this. So what is the direction of current? Opposite to flow of electrons. So current direction is outside the collector region, towards outside the collector region. Okay, these are the conventional current directions which we have to know for PNP transistor, right? So this is under biasing. Okay, what about junction widths? So let us move on to talk about what about junction width, how junctions are formed and how the junction widths are modified depending upon biasing. Okay, first of all let us suppose unbiased transistor. Okay, unbiased transistor means I am not giving any voltage supply to the transistor. That is called unbiasing state of transistor. Okay, so I am not giving any voltage supplies here. Okay, just I am drawing here schematic. The schematic for unbiased PNP transistor means I am not giving any voltage supplies here. You can see here I am not applying any voltage sources from base to emitter and also base to collector. I am not giving any voltage supplies here. Okay, that's why it's called unbiased transistor, right? So what will happen? What about junction widths? Let us consider. When no voltage is applied to PNP transistor, it is said to be an unbiased PNP transistor, right? The left side P region, which is emitter, this one, emitter, and right side P region, collector, the majority charge carriers are holes here, and electrons are minority charge carriers, right? Whereas base region, which is n-type, electrons are majority charge carriers and holes are minority charge carriers. Previously, the base width is from here to here. This is the base width previously. This is the base width. Okay, previously, right? So we know that charge carriers, that is free electrons or holes, always try to move from higher concentration to lower concentration. This is called diffusion. Diffusion is phenomenon of charge carriers moving from high concentration area to low concentration area without any external applied voltage source. Okay, without applied an external voltage source or any energy source. Okay, without applying any external energy source, if the charge carriers move from high concentration to low concentration, it is called diffusion. It is called diffusion. So what will happen? Here the holes are majority charge carriers. Here the holes are majority charge carriers, and electrons are here minority charge carriers in p-type region, and n-type region electrons majority charge carriers and holes are minority charge carriers. As here holes are majority charge carriers and here holes are minority charge carriers in n region. So what will happen? The holes from emitter will move towards base. Okay, and also holes which are majority charge carriers in collector region move towards base. Why? Because the base has low concentration of holes. Likewise here in n region electrons are majority charge carriers. So electrons move from base region to these p regions where electrons are here minority charge carriers. So the charge carriers will move from high concentration area to low concentration area without applying any external voltage source, without any biasing, and is called diffusion. Therefore, holes at left side of p region, emitter, that is emitter, and right side p region, that is collector, experience a repulsive force from each other. As a result, holes at left side and right side p regions will move into base region, as I said now, right? During this process, the holes meet the free electrons in n region. Okay, so that electrons are majority charge carriers in base region. When holes come from collector and emitter regions to base region, what will happen? These holes are recombined with electrons present in base region. Okay, so holes meet electrons in n region and recombines with them. As a result, depletion region is formed here. Depletion region is formed. Depletion region means when an ion having an electron or hole disappears as a act of recombination, then what will happen? The ion will get immobile. These ions are called immobile ions. This region is depleted of charge carriers. That's why it's called depletion region. Okay. At emitter to base junction, the depletion region is penetrated more towards base side. At emitter to base junction means this junction, the depletion region is penetrated more towards base side. Similarly, at base collector junction, depletion region is penetrated more towards base side. So what will happen? Effective base width reduces. Right? So at emitter to base junction, depletion region is penetrated more towards base side. Similarly, at base to collector junction, depletion region is penetrated more towards base side. This is because at emitter to base junction, emitter is heavily doped and base is lightly doped. So what will happen? The depletion region is penetrated more towards base side and less towards emitter side, right? Similarly, at base to collector junction, the collector is heavily doped and base is lightly doped. So the depletion region is penetrated more towards base side and less towards collector side, right? The collector region is lightly doped than emitter region. So I have said you that emitter is highly doped and collector is moderately doped. Means a doping concentration in collector region are also high actually, but when compared to doping concentration in emitter region, the doping concentration here in collector region is somewhat less. It is somewhat less when compared to doping concentration in emitter region. Okay, that's why The collector region is lightly doped when compared to emitter region. Okay. So, and the base region is very lightly doped, right? So the depletion region width at collector side is more than depletion region width at emitter side. This will happen when no bias is applied. Okay, means when the diode is manufactured, this is the condition of diode, and these are the widths of junctions here. Okay, till now we didn't apply any voltage source, means any biasing here. So now we are going to apply biasing here. Okay, as I said, junction J is forward biased and junction JC is reverse biased. Input junction is always forward bias, output junction is always reverse bias, right? So if I make like this, then transistor works in active mode of operation, right? So in active mode of operation, it amplifies the input signal, right? So let us consider PNP transistor as you are seeing in the screen. Okay, the emitter junction is forward bias with DC voltage VEE. I am writing here voltage in double subscript notation, and base collector junction is reverse biased by DC voltage VCC, right? So due to forward bias here, in this region, this junction, what will happen? Large number of holes in emitter region experience a repulsive force due to positive terminal of VEE, right? As a result, the holes start flowing from emitter to base like this. And in a similar way, free electrons in the base experience a repulsive force from negative terminal of battery and also experience attractive force from positive terminal of battery, VEE. So electrons in base region will get penetrated into emitter region. As a result, electrons start flowing from base to emitter. The majority charge carriers holes carry most of the current from emitter to base. Thus, electric current flows from emitter to base. While charge carriers moving from emitter to base and from base to emitter, what will happen? Recombination of charge carriers will occur. Okay, that's why a depletion region will be formed here, and it is forward biased. So what will happen? The charge carriers will move from emitter to base. The holes move from emitter to base, and electrons move from base to emitter. That's why the depletion region width here reduces as it is forward biased, right? So let us move on to this region, base collector region. Due to the reverse bias here, a large number of holes in right side N region, means collector region, experience an attractive force from negative terminal of battery, right? Here I'll get repulsive force due to VCC. Hence, the holes move away from the junction and flow towards the terminal of battery. As a result, large number of neutral collector atoms gains electrons and become negative ions here, right? On the other hand, free electrons in base experience attractive force from positive terminal of this voltage source VCC, and hence the free electrons move away from the junction and flow towards positive terminal of battery. As a result, large number of neutral collector atoms gains electrons and become negative ions, right? The free electrons in N region experience an attractive force from positive terminal of battery. Hence, free electrons move away from the junction and flow towards positive terminal of battery. As a result, a large number of neutral atoms loses electrons and becomes positive ions here. Thus, the width of depletion region increases in base collector region, and we can say simply that in reverse bias condition, depletion region width increases. So the holes that are flowing from emitter to base due to forward bias will recombine with the electrons in base. However, the base is very thin, as I said, and lightly doped. And so a small percentage of emitter holes will recombine with free electrons in base region, and remaining large number of holes will cross the base region and reaches to collector junction and reaches to collector region, right? Due to this is due to negative voltage supply at collector. This is due to negative voltage supply at collector here, right? Hence holes flow from emitter to collector via base. At collector, both the emitter holes and collector holes produces a current by flowing towards negative terminal of battery or voltage source VCC. Okay. Therefore, an amplified current is produced at the output. In PNP transistor, electric current is majority due to conduction of holes. And of course, we have to consider current due to magnetic charge carriers also, such that total current is due to majority and magnetic charge carriers. And here also the basic equation IE equal to IB plus IC holds good. Okay, this is all for today. See you in next class.